So Steph Curry says guys are going to have to be asked to do things that they may not all the way vibe with, how they see themselves. The biggest thing is look at teams that have won. You realize that there's a certain way about how you show up on a nightly basis. Everybody is important. Everybody is valuable. It's not going to look pretty for the majority of this year for some guys. Some are going to be in and out of the rotation. Guys are going to be asked to do things that they may not all the way vibe with how they see themselves. Is Steph Curry not looking through the soul of Chris Paul in response to Chris Paul talking about being a starter for the Golden State Warriors? I mean, somebody talk to me because this seems like it's real. Steph Curry is talking to Chris Paul. I'm not going to say this message wasn't for a lot of other people or for the locker room as a whole. It could have been for more than one person, but I that one of those people definitely was CP3 and Chris Paul. And I didn't never think that that Steph was even going to even indirectly address the situation about Chris Paul wanting to be a starter unless they decided to move Steph at the 2. Something like that. But, Chris Paul coming in kind of making demands or having some type of expectation when he's never won anything. He's going up against a franchise that's got 4 rings, you know what I'm saying? So when you look at what Steph Curry is saying, like you break it down, he's definitely talking to Chris Paul. He said the biggest thing is look at the teams that have won. He's telling Chris, you've never won. You got a lot of expectation and you demanding stuff, but look at the squads that won. You realize that there's a certain way that you go about. You see, he's like on a nightly basis. You can't be crying and complaining. He's talking to Chris Paul. Everybody is important. Everybody is valuable. Some are going. Look what he say. It's not going to look pretty for the majority of the year for some guys. That's telling Chris Paul, you're going to be on the bench. You're going to be coming off of the bench. You know what I'm saying, for the most of the year. It's not going to be what you think it is, what it's always been. You understand what I'm saying? Like it's going to be rough for you, and I need you to know that now. There's no Steph is laying the whole year out, the season out for niggas for real. Like let's be honest. Like look what he's saying. There is no competition. There's going to be no race for the point guard on the starting spot. He's letting Steph know now. It's not going to look pretty for the majority of the year for some of y'all. Some are going to be in and out of the rotation. Guys are going to be asked to do things that they may not all the way vibe with how they see themselves. Chris Paul all day. Chris knows he's a starter just about anywhere else. He's been a starter his whole career. Steph is like, you ain't that guy here, though. And I need you to understand that's what it's going to be for the entire year. So let's just get it out the way. I feel Steph 1,000%. I'm just surprised that he actually kind of addressed this. And ain't nobody going to tell me that Steph Curry wasn't talking about Chris Paul in this statement, man. I mean, let's keep it real. Look what he's saying. Guys are going to be asked to do things that they may not all the way vibe with how they see themselves. Who else did Golden State bring in that has some type of expectation on themselves that's not going to be met because of the system that Golden State have? What player? Who else did the Golden State Warriors bring in the offseason?